You're going to be a big brother. Those were the words my parents told 8-year-old me back in 2018. Stunned and shocked by the sudden revelation, I immediately responded with something most boys my age never say. Are you sure, Mommy? Are you sure it's not a mistake? Now, being the youngest son with an older brother who had a history of scaring and making fun of me, I always considered myself to be the favorite son, and looking back, I knew I was treated differently. For one thing, I would always receive support from my parents when me and my older brother got into a fight, and whenever I got a good grade or received praise from my teachers, I would always receive a new game or toy. But now, with the sudden variable mixing into the family equation, my status as a favorite child would be gone. Throughout the 9 months, I tried to be the best supportive son there is. I tried to put on a brave face, but to my dismay, my parents picked up on my feelings and talked to me about what to expect when the baby arrives. We will always love you. Just because there is someone new coming into the family doesn't mean we don't love you any less. Well, the talk did ease my doubt. I still had worries. Worries such as whether or not the baby will come to like me, will the baby be a boy or a girl, and whether or not if the procedure will be successful. Looking back, I was kind of a worrisome 9-year-old boy. On February 12, 2009, my little brother Alejandro was born, weighing roughly around 7 to 8 ounces. I first saw him looking through a clear view mirror in a room full of other babies. At first, I couldn't find him. I thought the nurses had brought him to the wrong room, but my dad pointed him out. Laying next to 2 other babies, covered with blankets and a wristband with the family last name, was my small and frail baby brother. With his pink-colored chubby cheeks puffing in and out, his tiny arms moving as he tried to find a comfortable position to sleep, I stared at him on what felt like an hour until my dad brought us back to my mother's room. Within a few minutes, the nurse brought Alejandro and rested him on my mother's arms. I remembered feeling scared and worried when they picked him up and gave him to my mom to hold. While my parents discussed my mother's conditions and how the operation went, I went towards his crib and examined him from head to toe. On the top of his head were small patches of black hair growing, and on his hands and feet were small, almost ant-sized fingers. I was surprised and confused on how a newborn baby would look like. After examining him, I asked if I could look at his pinky, because while many people have straight pinky fingers, my dad and me are the only ones in the family who have crooked pinkies, and I wanted to see if he inherited the trait, and sure enough, he did. After being discharged from the hospital, my parents brought Alejandro back to our home, and for the first couple of weeks, I couldn't believe that I was a big brother. As the years passed by, I grew to love my little brother every day, which eventually led us to becoming best friends. To this day, whenever my parents discussed the moment they announced her pregnancy with Alejandro, they would always laugh at my first response, commenting how I was jealous of Alejandro and how quickly we became friends.